curious about the spark behind your favorite content creator, the journey, the challenges, and the stories that led them to the spotlight? Dive in with Georgio Takounakis, known as Georgio Says, and the mystical Nathalie Rogers from Femme every week. One guest, countless stories. Let's get the conversation started.
Yes, everyone. You've walked in on a conversation between two content creators who have started a podcast about content creators. So where's this going, you might ask? Well, Nathalie and I have been collaborating for over a year at this point. We've been friends for almost 2, and we have worked with a plethora of content creators between the both of us. But right now we're just discussing the podcast we are launching, Creating the Creator. And it is more of a feel of, we were more inspired by the actor on actors format, getting to know the creators on a different level. And yeah, what did you, do you remember when we initially came up with, or we had always said we wanted to do a podcast together? That's always been in the works, but we just didn't know what.
We didn't know what, but you know what? There's been so much drama in the content creation world. And that's what inspired us, because we're like, there's so much drama, but people only see the drama. People only see content creators the way they see them on their screens, or they listen to them on their, on the podcasting platforms. And that's what inspired us, really. It's like, what causes these dramas? Why is there drama between content creators? How much, and also something else, people don't realize how much pressure content creators get just to create, just to promote, just to put themselves out there, to be professional, to be on time, to navigate with comments, good or bad, because you get both. And we were just talking about growing a thick skin, because if you don't have a thick skin, you can't really survive in this world. Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to bring all these content creators that we all love, that we all follow, that we've worked with, Georgia and I have worked with, but we also follow them, we listen to them. And we wanted to bring them on our podcast so we can get to know them better and see what makes them tick, to see where did it all begin? How did this journey start? What kind of challenges, hurdles, what's been going on? Things that we don't know. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And it's been interesting.
It's been eye-opening though, because obviously we knew we were going into this wanting to get to know them on a different level, but I've just been amazed at how open everyone has been with us. Just not because we've been trying to be intrusive, but it's like, this is what people are talking about, and we just so happen to ask a question around it because it's always on the tip of their tongue. We've seen this with everyone so far that we've talked to. It's interesting too, we wanted also to let other creators who aren't creators yet see that it's not always the way it seems. I think sometimes we see some creators, I've done this before, where you're like, wow, like their life must be so amazing, right? Because you're seeing them on this level, they're doing these great things. But in reality, they're just another human being who's trying to make it work and make things happen for their brand and their projects. And it's just been so inspiring as well. It's not, we're getting to know them, but I'm getting inspired by just hearing some of their stories.
And we see so many common points that we have with all these content creators, because you have to start somewhere. And that's the thing. Most people think, oh, I want to start a podcast, but I need this. They have a whole checklist of things that they need to do before they feel confident enough to put themselves out there, or to start a podcast, let's say, or a YouTube channel. You don't need all that. You just don't need all that. Georgia and I, when we started content creating, when we started our YouTubes, our podcasts, social media, etc., we both had full-time jobs. Like, we had jobs outside of this world. And we started slow and easy with small budget. We just put ourselves out there. and you start feeling things. You start feeling, you know, what direction you want to go. What kind of community are you building? Everything is community. So I really feel that this podcast and the guests that we have on this podcast are going to inspire you. If you're thinking about starting something, this will really inspire you to do so without overthinking, without a big budget. Go for it. Be true to yourself and don't read the comments. Don't read the comments.
Do not read the comments. I tell people that all the time. And to your point, when we first started out, I tell people all the time, go watch some of my very early stuff. You will see this wall did not look like this when I started. There was one light and like just a bare wall. And I think I just had like 2 things on it. And so my point in saying that is like, it's not, people don't care about any of that. This is icing on the cake. Like, not just the wall, I'm talking about just in general, although like what everyone thinks they need in order to get started. That's the icing. You've got to actually bake that cake.
Exactly.
And that part is not as pretty. I'm just saying. Because you got to get dirty, you got to get the flour, the eggs, the butter, you got to mix it, you got to bake it, shape it, and then you can dress it. So I think once people see that these other creators, sometimes some of these creators are having to start over, right?
Oh yeah.
So you know, they had it in the bag for a minute and then it's like the rug gets pulled from them and now it's like, okay, well, you're back at square one. What are you going to do? So you have to have that, you know, it's teaching us too, I think, right, Nathalie? Like we can't just sit around if something doesn't work or work out. Okay.
You have to get back on the saddle. You have to get back on the horse and keep going. The other thing, which I find, and I think we both found during all these years that we're doing this, that what is key here is not just, it's helping each other. It's building a community of content creators and really helping each other. It's about supporting the small content creators, the small channels, the small podcasts, the small, you know, let's say whether it's like Bravo accounts on Instagram or on TikTok. It's about helping each other because that's how you grow. We grow together, not individually. This is not, yes, this could be your podcast or your YouTube channel and you're a one-man show or one-woman show. But at the end of the day, you're not, because you depend on your community and on other creators to really showcase you and lift you up. So it's collaborative. It's about collaboration. And you will learn this and see this through this podcast, through the interviews that we've done already and we will be making in the future, how they all say the same thing. They all say the same thing. It's all about, you know, putting yourself out there, helping others, asking for help, getting the support, and just being brave. You have a voice, you have an opinion. That's all you need. That's all you need.
So true.
And a microphone, that helps.
That does help. And headphones.
That does help. Yeah, because people start complaining when the sound's not good. They're like, I can't hear you. There is an echo.
I have to agree. I mean, honestly, this has been such a fulfilling project for us because I think we offline have talked to some of these creators and we have close relationships with some of them. And so although the conversations are not new to us that we're having publicly, there's still like these nuances to the conversation where we take it away and we're like, wow, I really didn't think about that. Like, I think one of our guests used an analogy of like manifesting, or what was it? Asking the universe to make their intuition the loudest thing in the room so that they knew that it was their intuition. And like, I know about intuition, I know about asking the universe for things, but I surely did not think to marry those two things together to say, oh, and by the way, universe, make this louder for me so I can hear it better. So like those little things you take away and now that will stick with me.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also, and I love how, because everyone goes through drama, okay? Because sometimes content creators fight, they disagree. There's a lot of stuff going on. Some you may know of, you may hear of and be a part of, let's say, if you're a fan of someone. Others you may never hear about because it happens behind the scenes, and content creators want to keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is how everyone deals with it. Not everyone individually, each one deals with this type of drama. Some people want to bring in their, community into the drama and get the support. Others don't. They're like, okay, this is private. This is behind the scenes. That's also interesting, but we can learn from other people's mistakes.
Yes.
We can learn not only from their mistakes, but from their successes as well. And this is the whole point of this podcast.
I think the point of being a creator is to help inspire each other. The better we all get at the same time, the higher the energy raises, and then everyone's vibration's sitting up high. And then it's just, I don't know. I just feel like we always say, and we've said this throughout our podcast, and we'll continue to say this, there's room for every one of you. If you're a creator, do not feel like, oh, well, there's so many already. Who needs another one? That's not what it's about. Don't think about it like, oh, it's the same content as everyone else. It's not, because your opinion on things may be different. Or people just want to hear what you have to say or how you say it. It's as simple as that. And that's what we've also learned. It's like everyone, their audience loves them because of them at the end of the day.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't need a studio. You don't need any, all of that fanfare and all of that glitz and glamour to feel like, that's what your people want, or your viewers or your listeners want. That's not what they want. They fall in love with you. You as a personality. They connect with you energetically because of your opinions. And this is what matters. The world is huge. There's billions and billions of people out there. Some people like you, other people won't. It's just like in real life. You meet people, you don't gel with everyone. Some people you don't. And you move on. So it's eye-opening for sure. It's a learning curve for even us creators. I mean, we're creators, we're talking to other creators, but I'm learning stuff. And I've really enjoyed the journey so far. I thought this was going to be great, but this has just been even more than great.
Oh
more
my gosh.
Than great.
But yeah, so definitely stay tuned, because we have so much coming your way, and we will be dropping our first episode very, very soon. And we can't wait for you guys to find out who our first episode features, because a lot of you are going to be gagging. But until then, check us out and make sure you're following us on Spotify so that you know when we drop our new episodes. And also, please leave us a kind review so that we can get into that little algorithm and get going. This is a new podcast, so we would love all that support. But yes.
And share it with your friends and your family too. Like, share it everywhere, because you never know. And especially with the first guests that we're going to have on, not only are you going to die and love it, but we're spilling some tea. We're spilling some tea, and it's going to be talked about.
There's definitely some tea spilled. I mean, that's not the direction in which we're leading, but it's been spilling, because that's what happens when there is tea. It spills at some point. So it does.
We're like a therapist couch, right? We're like a therapist couch.
It feels like that a little bit.
Everyone opens up to us. That's what I love. Like, they come to us at first, they're like, they don't know what to expect, and then suddenly it's like they're in therapy. They open up. We're laughing. We're talking. It's a beautiful journey. Yeah,
I love it
too.
Well, guys, that's right. Make sure you catch our podcast on Spotify, and make sure you download it and follow us and leave a review. And make sure you tune in, obviously, and stay tuned, because we have so much coming. I can't wait to share with you guys.
Every Friday. Don't forget, new episodes drop every Friday.
Stay tuned. Bye, guys.